Yeah.
Did you see the Shakur Stevenson fight?
I didn't.
Holy shit, man.
Nope.
Holy shit.
Good?
Fuck, he's good. He's on another level right now, man. He's on another level. I mean, he is so smooth. And his movement, his ability to, like, punches were coming at him, and he just lets them get right there.
Oh, yeah? Like
Just right to there. They touch him, and then pop, fires back.
Boxing fans, you've heard this one before. This guy is the next Floyd Mayweather. But let's be real. 99% of the time, that's just hype. Except when we talk about Shakur Stevenson, the comparisons actually make sense. His defense? Insane. His fight IQ? Elite. His undefeated record? Growing. But can he truly be the next Money Mayweather? Let's talk about it, real quick. Do you think Shakur Stevenson has what it takes to dominate like Floyd? Yes or no? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let's debate. If you watched Floyd Mayweather in his prime, you know his defense was untouchable. Shoulder roll, counterpunching, elite reflexes. He made world-class fighters look amateur. It wasn't just about avoiding punches. It was about men controlling fights entirely. His opponents didn't just miss. They got frustrated, worn down, and eventually picked apart. Now, here's Shakur Stevenson. He's not an exact copy of Floyd, but his ability to control range, make opponents miss, and counter cleanly is on that same elite level. The way he dismantled Oscar Valdez, a masterclass in hit and don't get hit boxing. Opponents can barely land clean shots on him, and when they try to step in aggressively, they find themselves getting countered before they can even set up their offense. The numbers don't lie. In several of his fights, Stevenson has held opponents to by single-digit landed punches per round, something that very few fighters in history have done consistently. His defensive discipline allows him to neutralize even the most aggressive fighters, making it look effortless. But here's where things get interesting. Being great defensively is one thing, but to be Floyd level, you need to dominate in multiple weight classes. And Stevenson? He's already making that move. Floyd wasn't just dominant. He moved up weight classes and still outclassed everyone. From super featherweight to welterweight, he stayed undefeated against the best. He beat power punchers, speedsters, volume fighters, and slick counterpunchers. No matter what style he faced, he adjusted and won. Stevenson is already a two-division champ, and now he's at lightweight, 135 kilograms, where things get real. The lightweight division is stacked with some of the best talents in boxing today. Gervonta Tank Davis, Devin Haney, Vasily Lomachenko, and more. If Stevenson can dominate at 135 and possibly move up to 140, the Mayweather comparisons will start carrying even more weight. But moving up means facing bigger, stronger opponents. Floyd faced similar challenges, but his ring IQ and defensive prowess allowed him to make weight disparities almost meaningless. Stevenson will need to prove he can do the same. If he keeps winning and collecting belts, that's when the Mayweather comparisons will really hold weight. But there's one thing Floyd had that Shakur still needs to prove. Mayweather wasn't just technical. Early in his career, he put people out. Some critics think Stevenson plays it too safe. So is he missing that knockout power? If you followed Floyd's career, you remember Pretty Boy Floyd. Before he became Money Mayweather, he wasn't just defensive. He was stopping guys, breaking them down round by round. He had power in his punches, and when he saw an opportunity, he went for the finish. Stevenson, on the other hand, has been winning by dominant decisions. His skills are undeniable. His ability to outbox opponents and make them look second-rate is impressive. But some fans have started to criticize his approach. They want to see if he can take guys out in the later rounds, rather than just outpoint them. So is this criticism fair? Well, it depends. Some fighters simply don't rely on knockouts, but instead focus on outclassing their opponents technically. Mayweather faced the same criticism later in his career when he became more defensive-minded. But the difference? Floyd had already built his reputation as an exciting finisher in his earlier days. This is where Stevenson has an opportunity to change the narrative. If he can start putting away fighters at 135 and beyond, the comparisons to Floyd will feel even more legitimate. But you know what can silence all that talk? Taking on and beating the biggest names. Mayweather had De La Hoya, Canelo, Pacquiao. So for Stevenson, who are those fights? Let's get into it. If Shakur wants to be the next Floyd, he needs legacy fights. Floyd Mayweather had legendary fights that defined his career. Beating Diego Corrales put him on the map. Outclassing Oscar De La Hoya made him a mainstream star. Defeating Manny Pacquiao cemented his GOAT status. For Stevenson, who are those career-defining fights? The biggest one would be Gervonta "Tank" Davis. This is the fight every boxing fan wants to see. Tank brings brutal knockout power, while Stevenson has elite defense and technical precision. The question is, can Stevenson avoid Tank's power for 12 rounds, or can he actually outbox him so thoroughly that the power never becomes a factor? If he beats Tank, he immediately becomes the king of the division. No debate. Another major fight would be against Devin Haney. A showdown between these two would be a high-speed chess match, not a slugfest. Both are defensive masterminds. Both are undefeated, and both have been called the future of boxing. A fight between them wouldn't just determine the best lightweight, it would determine the best pure boxer of this era. And then there's Vasily Lomachenko. Even though Loma is past his prime, he's still dangerous. He's one of the smartest, trickiest fighters in the sport, and a fight with Stevenson would test just how good Shakur really is. If Stevenson dominates Lomachenko, it would be a major statement that he is not just good, he is special. These fights aren't just big. They're necessary, because Floyd didn't just dominate, he did it against the best. But Stevenson has a choice to make. Does he chase greatness the way Mayweather did? Or does he play it safe? Talent isn't enough. Floyd chased the big fights. Stevenson's got the skills, but will he chase greatness the same way? So is Shakur Stevenson the next Mayweather? He's got the skills, the defense, the IQ. But to truly be Floyd's successor, he needs the legacy fights. The question is, will he take them? What do you think? Let me know in the comments.